never gonna give up on trying again, my friend. Crying like a baby 15 minutes into my meditation. Baby, give me something real to feel in my bones. I'm on a path of healing and I work from home. Hey, let's make a way. Traveling at the speed of trust, making moves on the road to better days. Hey, what you got to say? Sweeping up the Sandman's dust, making heavy dreams that won't blow away. No way. Gotta give it up to the mothers of the great-grandfathers. Learn to speak the maiden names of the ancestors. If I've ever done anything to hurt you, I'll make amends if you'll receive me. Now I'm riding on a wagon on a sober road, and I take my work with me. Hey, let's make a way. Traveling at the speed of trust, making moves on the road to better days. Hey, what you got to say? Sweeping up the Sandman's dust, making heavy dreams that won't blow away. No way. Hey, let's make a way. Traveling at the speed of trust, making moves on the road to better days. Hey, what you got to say? Sweeping up the Sandman's dust, making heavy dreams that won't blow away. No way. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in this morning. My name's Seth, and I'm so grateful to be a part of this series, to have been able to open it up and close it down for the season here. I started Earthwork Music back in 2001, really believing in the power of music to raise awareness in individuals and communities and societies. And for the last 19 years, we've been working here in Michigan and beyond, building community, doing projects for youth empowerment and youth arts education. We've been lifting up efforts for social justice and the environment, clean water, local foods and farmers, partnering with lots of wonderful organizations. And it has been truly an honor to work with Higher Grounds throughout the years, and to be affiliated with a company of such dignity and ethics and quality. And so Earthwork Music relaunched this year in 2020 after a little over a year of doing internal work, revisiting our mission and vision and values, and so we're working with Higher Grounds. They're powering our store. And we collaborate here on some projects. This is one of them, Earthrise. So throughout the summer, and if you're just tuning into Earthrise for the first time this week, you can go back and look at some of my friends and colleagues' contributions to share some words and some music on Monday mornings. Hey, Eric, thank you for your work. Thinking about you these days, and thanks for your efforts to bring people into the political process and become activated as advocates. Good morning to everybody at Higher Grounds. Thank you for what you do. We appreciate you so much. And so I just shared a new song from my new album. It's called Let Love Light the Way. And you can find it at the Earthwork Music Store. There's a link to donations in the description. We're a collective, and we believe in the intrinsic and historical power of music, and it's affected all of our lives. And we also really focus our efforts on community healing. And so any contributions you can make are great. You can also visit our store, grab a coffee mug or a t-shirt or a CD or a cassette. And stay tuned for more collaborations with Higher Grounds to come. These days, I'm thinking a lot about staying grounded. And finding ways to sort of quiet the noise. And so for me, that means making time every day to get quiet myself. And if I can't quiet the noise on social media or in the news or externally, I do have a say about how I choose to spend my time. And it does feel like our time is running shorter these days, right? We're busier. But also the pandemic has some silver linings in it, in terms of us being forced to slow down. And so for me, sitting by the water, sitting in my favorite chair, getting really quiet and coming back to my breath, it's not easy, but it always helps. And so I try to take 10 minutes a day to do that. And when I breathe in, I try to breathe in deeply, and I feel my heart. So I breathe in slowly into my heart, and I remember I have a heart, and all of us have a heart. And it's nice to be reminded of that. And when I let the breath go, I try to just let it go naturally. And then when it comes back in, the second time I try to activate a really loving thought. I think about something that makes me feel love in my heart. And this is a very practical thing to do. I invite you to try it. So breathe in and see what comes up. It might be your child or your sibling or your spouse, or it might be a place. It might be a place that makes you feel love, makes you feel peace. You let the breath go. You take another deep breath in. Feel the expansiveness of your heart and your chest. I'm hearing the birds here. I'm noticing the birds around me, cheeping in, letting the breath go. This time I'm going to slow my breath down even more. A lot of times I find myself in Lake Michigan or on Lake Michigan with my daughter. And just this little bit of quiet, this little bit of slowing things down, it does wonders for the nervous system, and it does wonders for bringing coherence to the mind. And it's not something to do instead of our work in the world. It's something to do to support our work in the world. So it's not checking out. It's resourcing ourselves so that we can continue to be of use. And that's something that all of us have to make decisions about every day. How we can be useful, how we can dedicate ourselves to good work in our communities, and to look around us. And I was growing up, I was raised, and I grew up with this philosophy that if you see something wrong, you have a responsibility to do something about it. It's not enough to just point things out and say what's wrong. And so I think during this time of reckoning, the social norms in our society are changing, and the basis of our work. It comes into question. What's the value of our work? What is the value of ourselves in our community, and what are our values? Beyond some of the cultural values that get imposed upon us. So we're not just subjects here. We're not just consumers. We create culture, and we create the conditions through which the future generations will live. And so, it's not about pride or ego to step into that responsibility. It's a practical realization that all of our decisions have consequences. Our work, has impacts. And so I invite you to be brave, to be courageous, and some of us have been going through some questioning here in quarantine. What am I doing with my life? Well, how do I need healing? And we have to move through our fears and stay in contact with our hearts to answer those questions. And so I do invite you to be brave and to be love, and to move through this time, loving yourself and giving your love to the world. This is a time when transformation is possible, and it's absolutely necessary. We have to transform this world and transform ourselves and be on a path of healing. So thank you so much for tuning in to Earthrise. Big love to everybody at Higher Grounds, Chris and Shauna and Jennifer and Josh for helping to curate and cultivate this series. Shout out to everybody at Earthwork Music for participating and for doing your good work, being music makers and culture creators in Michigan and beyond. And shout out to our collective members in Toledo and Portland, thinking about you, and in Berlin. So I'm going to play one more song for you and sign off. I love you too, Chris. Thanks for all your work. Thanks for all your work across the world, honoring the work of farmers and supporting communities in basic dignity that everyone should be afforded if they're engaged in trade practices with people from different countries. Being given a fair and equitable wage and rate for their goods, and then also being supported in these efforts for clean water and health care and gender equity and education. If only every company had that moral imperative that Higher Grounds had, business would be very different in this country. But it's a model for people to study. Think about how your business can be a B Corp. Think about fair trade as it relates to whatever you're doing, wherever you're doing it. Yeah. Woo! Let's get the blood pumping. Get the bodies moving on Monday morning. This one goes out to everybody. It's another one from the new record. I want the world to change. Yes, I want the world to change. Things have gotten mighty strange, and we all want this world to change. Change, it begins with me. Yes, the change begins with me. It starts in my community, and the change begins with me. I slowly breathe into my heart. Slowly breathe into my heart. Yes, I found a place to start. I slowly breathe into my heart. We have healing work to do. We have healing work to do. I'm so glad to work with you. The path is ours, the work is true. With love divine and eagle's view, we begin each day renewed, and we have healing work to do. The time is now, the place is here. The time is now, the place is here. Love is the way is clear. The time is now, the place is here. In the world it wants to change. Yes, this world it wants to change. Human hearts can rearrange a weary world that wants to change. And we have healing work to do. We have healing work to do. Path is ours, the work is true. I'm so glad to work with you. With love divine and eagle's view, we begin each day anew, and we have healing work to do. Time is now, the place is here. Time is now, the place is here. Love is the way is clear. Time is now, the place is here. Have a great week, everybody.